Today, we are going to learn about the living world.
Before we jump right into it, I would kindly ask you to subscribe for the channel to stay updated.
What is living? Living organisms exhibit unique characteristics that distinguish them from non-living things. Let's explore these traits step by step. First, growth. Living organisms grow in size due to internal processes like cell division and enlargement. For example, plants grow taller and animals increase in size as they age. This internal growth is a defining feature of life. Second, reproduction. Reproduction is the process by which living organisms create offspring. This can occur in two ways. First, sexual reproduction involves two parents, contributing genetic material to produce offspring. Second way is, asexual reproduction involves a single parent producing genetically identical offspring, such as in bacteria or hydra. However, reproduction is not universal. Some organisms, like mules, or conditions like infertility in humans, prevent reproduction. Hence, while reproduction is an important feature of life, it cannot solely define it. Third, metabolism. Metabolism refers to all the chemical reactions occurring in an organism to maintain life. It includes processes like digestion, respiration, and energy production. Importantly, metabolism is unique to living beings. Isolated chemical reactions, such as those performed in a laboratory, are not considered living even though they may mimic metabolic processes. Fourth, response to stimuli and consciousness. Living organisms can sense and respond to their environment. For example, plants grow towards light. Humans pull their hand back from something hot. This ability to respond is crucial for survival. In humans, consciousness is a higher form of response, involving self-awareness and complex thought processes. Fifth, dynamic and evolving systems. Living organisms are self-regulating systems, maintaining balance within themselves. Over time, they evolve, adapting to their environments. This evolution is made possible by shared genetic material passed down through generations, linking all living organisms in the web of life. Diversity in the living world. Living organisms are incredibly diverse, ranging from large, visible plants and animals to tiny, microscopic organisms. This variety is called biodiversity and includes over 1.7 million species that scientists have described so far. Let's break this concept down to understand it better. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity refers to the variety of life forms on Earth, including plants, animals, and microorganisms. The wide range of organisms makes our planet rich and full of life. For example, think of a forest. It has trees, birds, insects, fungi, and countless other organisms working together in an ecosystem. Why do we need standard names? Each organism might have different names in various regions and languages. This can create confusion. Scientists solve this problem using a standardized naming system called nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature, introduced by Carolus Linnaeus, this system gives every organism a two-part Latin name. For example, the scientific name for mango is Mangifera indica. The first part, Mangifera, is the genus. The second part, indica, is the species. Key rules for scientific names. Rule 1. Names are written in italics or underlined. Rule 2. The genus starts with a capital letter, while the species starts with a lowercase letter. This system ensures scientists worldwide use the same name for an organism, avoiding confusion. Rule 3. Classification, organizing life. To study and understand organisms, scientists group them into categories called taxa. Examples of taxa: plants, a broad group; mammals, a smaller, specific group; dogs, an even narrower group. This grouping is based on shared characteristics, like structure, behavior, or ecological roles. What is taxonomy? Taxonomy is the science of classifying organisms. It involves four main steps. Step 1, Characterization. observing an organism's features. Step 2, Identification, determining what it is. Step 3, Naming, assigning a scientific name. Step 4, Classification, grouping it with similar organisms. Modern taxonomy considers structure, like bones or leaves; cellular features, like DNA or cell types; developmental stages, like embryos; ecological roles, how they interact with their environments. Rule 5. Systematics, understanding relationships. Systematics, derived from the Latin word system, expands on taxonomy. It focuses on evolutionary relationships between organisms. How different species are connected over time. For example, birds and reptiles share common ancestors, which is why their evolutionary link is studied under systematics. Why is classification important? It helps us organize and study the immense variety of organisms. It avoids confusion caused by local names. It reveals the evolutionary relationships among species. Taxonomic classification. Taxonomic classification is the method scientists use to organize and group living organisms. It involves arranging organisms into categories called taxa based on shared characteristics. Let's break this down step by step to make it easier to understand. What is a taxonomic hierarchy? The taxonomic hierarchy is like a pyramid with several levels. Each level represents a rank in the classification system, starting from the most specific and moving to the most general. The basic unit of classification is the species, which includes individuals with the most similarities. As you move up the hierarchy, the groups become broader, and the shared traits among organisms decrease. Levels of the taxonomic hierarchy. First, species. A species is a group of organisms that share the most fundamental characteristics and can interbreed. Examples: Homo sapiens means humans, Musca domestica means housefly, Mangifera indica means mango, Triticum aestivum means wheat. Second, genus. A genus includes closely related species. For example, Homo groups humans, Homo sapiens. Musca groups houseflies, Musca domestica. Mangifera groups mango species, Mangifera indica. Third, family. A family groups related genera. For instance, humans belong to the Hominidae family. Mango belongs to the Anacardiaceae family. Fourth, order. An order groups related families. Humans are in the order Primata. Wheat belongs to the order Poles. Fifth, class. A class groups related orders. Humans are in the class Mammalia, which includes all mammals. Mango is in the class Dicotyledonnae, broad-leafed flowering plants. Sixth, phylum or division. A phylum is used for animals, or division is used for plants, includes related classes. Humans and houseflies belong to the phylum Chordata. Flowering plants, like mango and wheat, are in the division Angiospermae. Seventh, kingdom. The highest rank in the hierarchy groups all organisms into broad categories. Kingdom Animalia includes humans, houseflies, and all animals. Kingdom Plantae includes mango, wheat, and all plants. Here's a table summarizing the classification of some common organisms. Why is taxonomic classification important? It helps organize the vast diversity of life. It makes it easier to study and understand organisms. It shows evolutionary relationships between different groups. By understanding taxonomic classification, we can appreciate how interconnected and organized life on Earth truly is. Taxonomic studies. Taxonomic studies are essential for understanding the diversity of life and managing biological resources. To classify and identify organisms accurately, scientists rely on specific methods and tools. Let's explore how these studies work and the tools that help in this process. Why are taxonomic studies important? They help us understand the variety of life on Earth. They provide essential information for conserving species and using biological resources effectively. Accurate classification ensures clarity and avoids confusion about species. To carry out these studies, scientists collect, preserve, and examine plant and animal specimens. These specimens become the foundation for systematic research. Tools for taxonomic studies. First, herbaria. A herbarium is a collection of dried, pressed, and preserved plant specimens stored on sheets. Each sheet is labeled with important details such as the plant's scientific name, the date and location where it was collected. Herbaria serve as reference repositories for future research. Example, scientists studying plants often refer to herbarium specimens for identification and comparison. Second, botanical gardens. Botanical gardens are places where living plants are grown for study and identification. These gardens preserve plant diversity and allow scientists to observe plants in their natural form. Famous botanical gardens include Kew Gardens in England, Indian Botanical Garden in Howrah, India. Third, museums. Museums, often located in schools and colleges, preserve both plant and animal specimens in various forms. In jars with chemicals for preservation. Dried or as stuffed displays, like birds or mammals. Insect collections are often pinned and displayed for study. Skeletons of animals are also stored for reference. These specimens help researchers and students study the structure and classification of organisms. Fourth, zoological parks. Zoological parks, or zoos, maintain live animals in conditions that closely resemble their natural habitats. These parks allow scientists to study animal behavior, diet, and other characteristics in a controlled setting. Example, observing the behavior of lions or studying the diet of elephants in a zoo setting. Fifth, keys. Keys are analytical tools used to identify species. They are based on contrasting characters presented as paired statements, called couplets. For example, couplet 1. Leaves are broad and flat, go to couplet 2. Leaves are needle-like, identify as conifers. Keys help in distinguishing species step by step based on their features. Other resources for taxonomic studies. First, flora provides information about plants found in a specific area, including their habitat and distribution. Second, manuals help in identifying species in a region. Third, monographs focus on a single taxon, such as a genus or family, providing detailed information. Fourth, catalogs document and list species with their classification details. How do these tools help? They ensure accurate classification and identification of species. They aid in understanding where and how different species live, habitat and distribution. They serve as reference materials for researchers, helping them document and compare biodiversity.